Good afternoon, YouTube, and welcome back to Fat Cat Collections. And today I'm excited to share with you guys another smart home product. Now, I'm going to share with you guys a smart home bulb. Now, you might be saying, oh, okay, well, we've seen the LifeX stuff you've already reviewed. We've seen the ones by Philips Hue. Yeah, everybody and their brother is making now smart bulbs that are Wi-Fi enabled or Bluetooth enabled. I've even seen ones that are actually sound enabled, where you don't need Bluetooth or Wi-Fi. Your phone will emit a tone, and the bulb knows based on that tone what color to change to. But this is a different type of smart home bulb, and this is what's called an emergency power outage bulb. Now, a few companies are making these, and I have reviewed a different type or a different product who makes a bulb like this in the last couple of weeks. But I reached out to this company called Sengled, and they were nice enough to supply me with 3 of their smart home power outage bulbs, and they were nice enough to supply me with some of their Z-Wave bulbs. Or actually one Z-Wave bulb, which is another type of smart bulb you can dim up and down and just turn on or off. It's more your basic entry-level smart home bulb. Unfortunately, the company forgot to send me the hub and the other bulb, but they were nice enough to go ahead and get that back, or get that in the mail today. So I'll review that at a later date. It's a really, really affordable way to kind of get involved in these whole smart home products. But moving on to what we're going to talk about today, this is called the Sengled Everlight. And what it is basically an LED bulb that will allow you to have light out of whatever fixture you put it in. And there's certain fixtures you don't want to put them in, and I want to touch base on that in a little bit here. Well, as you put this bulb in a fixture or a lamp, what we're going to do today, and if you have a power failure, the bulb will actually run for 3.5 hours at, I believe on these ones here, it's 60% brightness. I think they have it listed here. Let's see here. So it's 500 lumens on AC power, 300 lumens on battery backup. The percentage is not listed here, but it was listed on the website. You can go ahead and check that out. I'll put a link in the description. So basically what happens, this thing has the ability to sense, based on your electrical, load of your house, whether or not the power has gone out. Now, the only negative thing I have to say about these bulbs is that it'd be nice if they had a feature to actually turn on automatically in the event of a power failure, but these will not. These ones here will actually only turn on if the switch is on. So let's just say in the situation right now, if the power were to go out, naturally this lamp behind me is going to go off because that's just got your standard LED bulb in it. But what will happen here is this light bulb, smart bulb, will be able to detect the power's gone out and turn on its 300 lumen mode. Let me double check that. It's 300 lumen mode and still have a functional lamp. You can also, run it for 3.5 hours. You still use the switch and conserve the battery life by turning the lamp on and off. And I'll demonstrate that in just a second. It does have a replaceable lithium-ion battery, and it does have kind of a soft white color, very similar to what you'd find in most of your LED soft white bulbs. It almost matched some of the bulbs I have perfectly. Now, this particular product, I will say, is very, very similar to the one I reviewed a couple days ago. And the one I reviewed the other day specifically stated you could not put this in a closed fixture. It had to be an open fixture, or an open lamp that's not closed. Some of the fixtures I have that are closed, they recommend not putting it in. I didn't see any warning on the company website, but being that these things do produce heat and there is a lithium-ion battery in it, I think it's still wise to not put these in any kind of fixture that does not have proper ventilation. I think it could become a fire hazard, but don't quote me on that. You do what you want to do. But I would recommend putting these in a fixture that's going to be open, such as a lamp. Because even LEDs still produce quite a bit of heat, and naturally that would be okay, but this does have a lithium-ion battery in it, which is kind of subject to a potential fire hazard if it gets too hot. So just kind of think about that, okay? As far as the bulb, it's very, very basic in design. Nothing really too fancy. It's just like your standard LED light bulb. It is quite a bit larger. This is your standard LED light bulb you'd get by Lowe's or by Home Depot. Quite a bit larger. And the only thing about these bulbs I have to say, the only negative thing I have to say about them is that the way the light kind of illuminates out of here, it's more of an upwards projection as opposed to this one here, which is more of an outwards. But if you put this in a lamp, you're not really going to notice the difference. And you can see right here, in this particular lamp, it looks just like the other lamp off to the side of me here. You wouldn't really tell that it projects more up. But in a certain fixture, you might notice it. Also, because this is so large, I have a couple lamps I tried to put this in, and it actually sticks out past the top of the lamp, or if it's a light that's down firing, it sticks out past the bottom. I tried putting this in one of my fixtures in my bathroom, and you can see it popping out the top of the glass. So it's going to have certain certain lamps that's going to look good in, certain ones it's not. You just have to find one that's going to work. As you can see, most of your standard lamps will be just fine, which is great. And like I said, what happens in the event of power failure, you're still going to be able to have a lamp that's going to work and give you some light for up to 3.5 hours, and still conserve that battery life by turning the lamp off. Now, it did say on the company website that this thing will actually charge with the light turned off. I don't see how that's possible, because if the switch isn't on, there's no current going to the bulb. So, I'm not really sure. I think they meant that this will charge when maybe the... I don't know. That doesn't really make any sense. I don't think that's completely true, though. I know the other company I reviewed said it takes 6 hours to get a full charge. I'll have to experiment these and review them again at a later date to find out exactly how much juice they draw. But then again, with these, we're not really going to have the opportunity to really test them, because the power never goes out, and it really only goes out, for an hour or so. But like I said, in the event, I wanted to have something like this. In the event of a power failure, I'm not going to be stumbling around, in the dark, not having any kind of lights on. So let's go ahead and test this. Again, I just want to show you the box. I always show the box, but it's pretty standard. Sengled LED Everbright, and yeah, that's about it. 500 lumens. Cost per year $1.08, so it's very, very efficient. It draws about 11.5 watts when it's on. Okay, and you can use this as a standard lamp, light bulb in your standard lamp throughout the year, and then in the event of a power failure, you're going to have light. Now, one thing I want to say is you probably don't want to put this in a light bulb that you're never, or a lamp that you're not really going to use, because what will happen is it'll probably eventually lose power, and if you forget to turn it on and charge it, I don't know how long a lithium-ion battery will hold its charge without any kind of use. It might be in there for a year, but good idea to have it in a lamp where it's constantly going to be getting charged. And a lamp that's going to be somewhere in your house that if the power does go out, you wouldn't mind having some light there to make it feel like the power's still on. So I was going to put one in my downstairs bathroom, but again, it kind of poked up through the top, and this bathroom doesn't really get used all that much. And so in the event of a power failure, naturally, if you want to put one in every room, I guess you can go ahead and do that. But for me, the company was nice enough to send me 3, and unfortunately, one of the negative things I have to say about these type of bulbs is that they're not dimmable. And I like a lot of my fixtures to be on dimmers. I like my bathroom to be able to be dimmed down, so it's not, overwhelmingly bright when I go in there in the morning. When I'm, taking a bath or taking a shower, I kind of like the lights to be a little dimmer. And these you cannot use in a fixture you're going to dim. So for me, I found these to be very useful in lamps. And so because they were nice to send me 3, and the other company sent me 3 as well, I'm going to go ahead and give my folks a couple of them so they can put them in a few of their fixtures and see how they do. Now, one other thing I have to say about this particular bulb, and I haven't tested this one specifically, although I did try it in the other my bathroom fixture here, and the other day when I ran a test on the other brand, it wouldn't work with standard halogen bulbs. And I'm not sure if that's the case with this. I know when I had a standard, it was a 4-light fixture, I had a standard halogen bulb, and then an LED bulb, and then one of the other brand's version of this by Safe Lumen. Whenever you turn off the light, it would think the power failed. So they have to be used in conjunction with, I believe, LEDs or fluorescent bulbs. But I'll reach out to the manufacturer and get back at you guys as I use these products and re-review them at a later date to give you more information. And of course, if that's a question you really are that's really bugging you, go ahead and drop me a comment, and I'll reach out to my contact at the company and get you an answer ASAP. So let's go ahead and test it now. So what I've done is in this lamp back here, I have your standard LED bulb like I just showed you, your 40-watt equivalent. And then of course over here we have the Sengled Everlight. Sorry, Everbright, excuse me. Just came with a new name for a bulb. So the Everbright. So what I'm going to do is, a lot of guys, a couple of the people have reviewed these bulbs under different names, have done it with a simulation where they have a hairdryer plugged into a power strip, and then a lamp with the bulb, showing you that if the power is killed, it'll basically, and the hairdryer simulates a load on that particular circuit. And so it simulates what would happen in a power failure. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trip my breaker to give a realistic, real-life preview of what this bulb can do. So let me go ahead and do that right now. I'm going to kill the power to just this room. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay. Alright, Alright, so as you can see, I killed the power to this room. Now you'll see there are a few, there might be a reflection of some other bulbs, but this particular room is completely dead, okay? And so you can see the light behind me here has turned off with your standard LED. And then coming over to the lamp with the Sengled bulb, the lamp has turned on. And now it's in a power saving mode where it's at that 300 lumens. And what's great about this is if the power, now there is another light over there, which I'll go ahead and turn off. Alexa. Hey Google. Hey Google.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. Take a look at the help section in your Alexa app.
Hey Google. Turn off the front entry light.
There was a glitch. Try again in a few seconds.
Alright, well, we'll give up on that. I think what I did, I might have killed the power to my my router as well. So I didn't think that was on the same circuit, but it looks like it just might be. Good to know. Alright, so anyway, for the demonstration, that's really irrelevant. There's just a little bit of light coming from over there. I didn't want it to, be disturbing us anyway and putting more light than necessary. I kind of wanted to show you what this looked like without any other light. But nonetheless, it's still putting out quite a bit of light. And the nice thing about it, it's still a soft light. So it looks just like you just dim down the lamp, which is fantastic. Now what I'm going to do is demonstrate how, okay, so right now we're in a power failure. It's getting late. Let's say, all right, well, we don't know how long the power is going to be out. We want to conserve the battery power on the bulb, so let's go ahead and turn the lamp off. And what you can do is go right over to the switch. Nope, there we go. Sorry, three-way switch, a little delay. So you can turn the light completely off, okay? And then if you want, let's say it's the next day or maybe later in the day, you want to have power again, you can go ahead and turn it on. And it functions like a standard lamp. One thing I will say about this particular light bulb, what I like a lot more than the other brand, and I'm going to do a side-by-side comparison next, what I really like about this brand is that the other light that I reviewed, the light output once it went into power saving mode is more of a bright, more of a I don't know, 6,000 Kelvin temperature. It has more of that bright white natural daylight. So instead of being that soft white, it goes into that kind of what I would consider an annoying bright white, kind of bluish hue. Not blue, but it's definitely a cooler temperature. Where me, I like cool temperatures in my headlights in my car, bright whites and blues, and blue when I'm relaxing. But when I'm just chilling or just relaxing, where I just want to have the lights dimmed down. When it comes to white light in my home, I like the warmth of your 3,500 to 4,000 Kelvin temperature. I just like the way that feels. And this basically, the Kelvin temperature, the softness of the bulb does not change when it goes into power savings mode, which is a real plus and a real something I definitely like more than the other bulbs, because the other bulbs had that annoying kind of very, very industrial style bright white glow to them. So that's a real plus for these right here. I might have to just give my parents the other ones because I like these a lot more. But the only downside, they're a lot larger. So that's something to be said about that. Well, that's my review of the Sengled, once again, Everbright power failure bulb. Definitely something that every smart home should have. And even if you're not into the smart home stuff, it's definitely something you should have in your home. Because in the event of a power failure, it's nice to be able to still have some lamps that you can still read by. This doesn't, rather than reading by a flashlight or a candle, this basically makes it feel like you haven't lost power. And this is definitely the kind of thing that you could actually put a lot of these throughout your house and still have a pretty well lit room. This is something I would definitely put in a kitchen, although I use the LifeX bulbs in most of my fixtures, and that's more important to me than having the light in there in the event of a power failure. But I'm definitely going to try to put one maybe in another room with another lamp. I might buy another lamp for my office just to have one of these in there. One thing I just want to say to the company, I'm not sure if it's possible, but it would be fantastic if you guys could produce a bulb like this with the ability to dim it. If you had this technology in a dimming light bulb where you can put in any fixture, that would be a real plus. But it might be something with the technology needing to sense that circuit and that load, knowing, because right now it knows that there's no power to that outlet. Now, if we were to unplug the light, it wouldn't function. It doesn't function just because it's like a bulb that you can turn on and off. It needs to know whether or not there is a power failure. And if I were to unplug that lamp right now, the bulb would go off and it wouldn't work at all. So very important to know that this isn't something you can just put, this isn't a battery powered bulb that you can just kind of put in a lamp and move it around. It has to be plugged into your into your house circuit wiring, as again plugged in, for it to work. And if a question you have is, well, will it work with smart home switches, Wi-Fi wall sockets? It will not, because I have a Sonos switch on these particular lamps right here, and I tested that with these, and it did not work because the switch blocked the ability to sense that there was a power failure through the load on the line. So it has to be plugged in directly to the wall, and you can't use any kind of smart on-off switches with it because it just won't work. Negative thing I have to say about it, would have been nice to have these in these lamps. Still use them with my Sonoff and my Wi-Fi and stuff like that, but nonetheless, I just put it in a lamp that's just, we're going to use it old school. Alright guys, well thank you very much for watching my video. Remember to subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions, go ahead and drop a comment. If you do subscribe to the channel, please click that little bell to be notified anytime I upload a new video. As always, if you want to make a purchase of these bulbs, I'll put a link in the description. And as always, guys, have a great day. And Sengled, thanks again for your generosity in sending me the product. I look forward to the other smart home bulbs you're sending and those Bluetooth speakers. We're going to do a great video on those as well. Alright guys, thanks again. Take care.